How is everyone doing today? And in this video, we are going to talk about the summer campaign, which is the second half. As you may know, currently we are with Yuki, Waki, and Kanzaki and Mari. Haven't really had a lot of time to talk about them in their own video or showcase them at that because I haven't pulled on them, sadly. And another thing is just I just don't have the time at the current moment. I sadly, and I mean sadly, I don't want to have this much space in between videos. It will get better as time goes by a little bit, but I'm at least going to try to do this. I know I'm a day late, of course, but I'm at least going to try to talk about Megumi and Karin real quick before they come out. And then we should be expecting a couple more banners. I might make a video very soon talking about the characters that should be coming out after, because we did get that timeline previously of what banners should be coming. And with that being said, there's a lot of really good characters coming. Talking about good characters though, we see that Megumi and Karin are going to be the only characters that was a part of the second half, so we're getting a little bit of a lighter load this time around for these characters for the second half patch. This doesn't mean that it's going to be a little bit easier to not pull on them, because this Megumi is actually going to be really good, while Karin's going to be all right. But for those that like 31A, this is going to be a really good banner, of course. Talking about Karin and Megumi, talking about Karin first. Karin's a really nice character when it comes to being able to get devastation up by a crap ton. The main way she works is that she gives herself crit rate up and crit damage up, and then she does the AoE attack, which is pretty cool. She's a blaster. She's going to be giving up that devastation meter and building that up. And she even has a common skill, which is really cool. I'm not gonna lie, this isn't something that is only for this memorial. This is something that you can put on anybody. It is a 10 SP usage, so it is a very expensive skill, and it only has one cost as well, so, or one use as well, which is a little weird and also a little bad, because that means you can only use it once. But this does let you use a double EX skill, which I think is actually insane, and this could go for any of the Karins that we currently have in the game. When you're looking at the Red Riding Hood version, the light version, and the new dark version, so they could all build up devastation pretty well. So if you want to build out your Karins, this not be a bad investment for the common skill that she has. But realistically, it isn't the most important thing in the world. Her EX skill, like I said, crit rate up, crit damage up, 6 hit AoE. Since it is AoE, it is going to be very low in damage, and realistically, it's just not the most important thing in the world. Like I said, this common skill is really nice to have for the other Karins, but it's definitely not needed. So this Karin specifically would be more so of a skip than anything, while this Megumi, this is the MVP character that we need to be looking at, which is that she has a premium Thunder field, which is really nice, especially with Sharo coming very recent. This is a pretty big addition to the Thunder team, because you're getting that 8-turn Thunder zone, which is the premium version, which is the 65%. And not only that, she's also going to give you 2 turns of AoE Thunder defense down on top of Sharo's defense down and overwrite. So that's actually pretty good for the future of the characters that you're going to be pulling. But that is not the main reason why we're looking at this character. One of the biggest things that she has is this meditation passive skill, which you can put on anybody because it's not an exclusive skill. Zone Up Eternal increases potency of own zone effects by 15%, changes effect duration to permanent. Now this is pretty big. The reason why is because this turns this premium zone, which only lasts for 8 turns, and turns it into an infinite turn Thunder zone, while also keeping that 65% bonus to the field itself. And not only that, you're getting a 15% bonus on top of it. So instead of it being 65, you're getting 75, 80% on top of that. Not on top, but it's now 80% boost instead of a 65 boost, which is actually pretty good. Now, the main reason why I think this is really strong is not only because is this a eternal premium field, but this is also a non-exclusive passive skill. And the reason why that's important is because this Megumi has the skill, naturally. You could also put it on the Fire Megumi, who's also a really good fire fielder. She has the same thing, 2 turns but single target fire defense down, and then she has 8 turns of the fire zone with the 65% boost to fire damage. plus the 15% you're getting from this passive skill, and also the fact that this is now going to be an eternal zone. You don't necessarily have to use those 15 SP to just do the field. You can do other things like debuffing, which I think is a really strong thing to have. She does hit pretty hard, so there is a reason to still use the EX skill personally, but I do think that passive skill is just really strong to add on to Megumi for the fire version of her and also the thunder version of her, which actually is pretty good. Not only that, this Megumi has 10% for defense down if she's in the front line, and then this one gives higher effectiveness with defense down on her limit break 3. So there are some good nuances with transferring this skill onto other Megumis, because you're just gonna make them so much stronger. Realistically, there's not too much to talk about when it comes to these characters by themselves, just because they're pretty cut and dry. Karin is just, you know, she's an okay blaster. The main prize is definitely going to be this Thunder Megumi because of this passive skill, which does take up a skill slot if I'm not wrong. It takes up a skill slot, but you don't use it for the most part. If I am not wrong, it takes up a skill slot. And with that being said, you just get this for free, which is really cool. Putting the skill into your character, and now they just have that active at all times, and you can transfer this between the Thunder Megumi and also the Fire Megumi, which I think is really cool. Other than that, we are looking at a story event update, which of course with Megumi, I cannot wait to play Megumi related stuff. I also still don't, I'm sorry, I will be streaming chapter 5.1 and the interlude eventually. It's just gonna take some time because of all that I have to do right now, but we will get to it eventually, and I will make a post about it eventually, making a specific date so it's easier for all of us to be ready for when that happens. And then we are going to be getting a login bonus, which is a free 10 pull, which is really cool. And then other than that, we are looking at a new score battle as always, Megumi and Karin. There's not going to be another banner with them, so they won't have any shared pity with anything else. We're going to get 10 role recruitment, 120 free rolls, which is really nice. And then step up recruitment for Megumi and Karin. Those that are spenders in this game, it is a pretty good way to try to get Megumi as easy as possible. This might be the same way they did Mari and Kanzaki, where you basically guarantee one or the other, which I think is really cool. And then 1.5 drop rate for summer. This is not a good banner, and the dark banner is not necessarily a good banner either. So other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to everything in the celebration. It is pretty small comparison to the first half of the summer celebration, but realistically the main thing you're looking at is this eternal zone for Megumi, for her fire variant and also her thunder version, helping out both teams by quite a lot, and also making it so that you don't have to use your fire field as often. Usually you don't need to, because they're usually dead with how the content is right now. If you have a pretty strong team, they're probably going to lose I guess you say all their HP by the time 8 turns are up. You'd probably get 2 attacks in that amount of time, on top of the defense down that you're putting on with Fire Megumi and also Thunder Megumi. But other than that, that's pretty much going to be it for this video when it comes to talking about Karin and Megumi and the second half of the summer celebration. I do expect some of these pretty hard hitter characters to come out very soon. If I had to say anything, if you're not kind of stressing for any type of thunder fielder primarily, I would kind of skip this banner in whole, just because it might be a little easier to stop yourself from pulling on this and being ready for like the big boys like Unison, Ruka, and all these other characters that could be coming in the future. But I'll be making another different video for that. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.